Musa Narekio, Musa Narekio, Musa
Brady,
Narekio, Musa
Tom.
Narekio, Musa. Everybody wake up! Everybody, it's the time. It's the time to spread. It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy. Keeping it real with Big Boy Live podcast with your boy, Professor X.
Oh wow!
What?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, good. I got the earbuds in tonight, so I just wanted to make sure the connection
Hey,
was good and strong.
I'm doing. I bought some wired ones. I plugged into the port, and that's so much better now. I can hear you fine, loud and clear. I can hear you so loud and clear, like some ghetto.
I can hear you so loud and clear. It's like Mariah Carey shattering crystal.
That Mariah over there trying to sing a Christmas song? Yes, she is.
Oh man! So what's going on with you, man? What's new?
Well, this was the first weekend I had off in a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. No, I got my dad fixed my hot water in the house, and I had no hot water for a week. Um, I did some stuff. Hung out with some men at church. Yeah, shot some guns and have some elk nachos. Yeah, elk nachos.
Elk nachos.
Yes, never had it before, but it was good. Basically, it's basically nachos, but you use elk meat and baked beans.
So I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the famous elk singer?
Who?
Elton John.
Ah, 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 ah.
I'm sorry, I just made that up on the fly. I had to roll with it.
Yeah. I see where you're going at with it. I see the attempt, and I've seen where you.
Elton
Yeah.
John. Elton John. I have spent a whole weekend with the babies, and oh man, we have told so many jokes. We have made up so many jokes, and it's just been a great weekend. So I'm in full dad joke mode right now. I do apologize, but however, I'm going to slap myself high five for that one because I just made that up on the fly and I really like it. I'm going to syndicate it now. Huh. Elton John, this one's for you.
That's right, everybody. Thank you for listening into the podcast. This is your boy, Big Boy. This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by Terra Jersey Enterprise. Terra Jersey Enterprise will hook you up with some custom shirts. Also, Terra Jersey Photography, capturing your moments of today to make them last for a lifetime. But like I said, this podcast is brought to you by Terra Jersey Enterprise.
Apparently, I got kicked for my bad dad joke.
Well, they had to call me and they were like, "Hey, we need to tell Professor X, don't do that again." I like it. I like it. No, I'm glad you had the whole weekend though. I mean, that was good.
Well, I got to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Did did you hear about the Italian chef who passed away?
Oh no, who's that?
He passed away.
Oh my gosh, that's that's actually pretty funny. That actually. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. You know, I listened to the radio today. They're just talking about different, musicians and stuff, and some of their top songs. Well, they brought up your boy, Michael Jackson, right?
Oh shit! Shoot.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
And they said that they're talking about how much he affected the music industry and how much how he changed the atmosphere. They said they played his last hit song. It was like, what's that song called? Do 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 do.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
What do you mean?
Why you gotta call me out like that, man?
Well, that's his last hit song. The Flatline.
Flatline.
Yeah. You don't get it, do you?
I got it now. I don't like you. Oh man, that's great. Oh, dude, that's great.
Oh man, yeah. I heard that from this one dude, and I was like, "You serious?" I thought that's so wrong, but it's so funny in the same way. Hey, so I'm gonna ask you a question. You know how we talked about a long, long time ago, like how you can watch a movie and then you watch it again, and then you start noticing more things about it.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
So I watched Django again, well, part of it again. Great movie, of course, Django Unchained. Man, no, I didn't notice. Yeah, I mean, probably because it's probably just simulating the time frame. But Leonardo DiCaprio has some jacked up, yellow, grimy teeth in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I was like, man, he didn't brush his teeth.
So that's what you noticed.
Well, I know it's not the part where that one Mandingo fighter was tired of fighting, and the dog ate him alive. I didn't know. I looked at he was missing the finger. I was like, huh, the guy's missing that finger. That's sad. That's the little stuff I've noticed. Yeah, it's little stuff like that I noticed.
Kind of funny that you say that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you say that. So the reason why is because
Oh yeah?
like, have you like ever seen the like Disney movie called like Tangled?
Oh yeah?
Okay, so you know like the movie is based on like Rapunzel, and she like has this really long like type hair like, and then like the premise of everything, and then like the premise of everything is like her letting her like long hair like down the window like.
Yeah?
There's a scene in the movie. I don't know if you've ever quite paid attention to it, but there's a scene where she's down out of the castle and she's walking through the woods.
What?
And
Just keep swimming?
if you pose it just right, in the background you could see the horror character called the Slenderman. It's there. I've synced it. That
Never
let me.
noticed,
He's in the background in the woods.
it's
He's
one of
like,
those
hey,
Easter,
Red.
it's one of those Easter eggs, too.
He's like, hey, Red, I'm going to replace you. I'm going to be the big bad wolf, and I'm going to go eat Granny.
Like one of those Easter eggs.
Multiple fairy tales going on at once, my friend.
Wow. Well, it's funny, though. A lot of movies do have like Easter eggs in there. That's stuff that either they're talking about another movie within the movie, or they're talking about a past movie in the past movie in the sequel. And they do that a lot too. Like another one, like first one, if you didn't know, not sure didn't know this either, was the very first Fast and Furious. Even the pizza guy knows in there in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was the acting director of the movie.
Oh, really?
He was the actor. He's the acting director, and he put him in that cameo spot right there. So, yeah. I was like,
Sweet. So off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's the second or the third new Star Wars that got released. The new Star Wars saga, Phantom Menace.
Mhm.
I believe it's the third one. I think it's the third one. But obviously, Star Wars, George Lucas. George Lucas is one of the aliens in one of the scenes in the third one. He's one of the alien senators, and most people don't realize that. So, also another one. It's kind of cool. Got 6 movies under your belt, and your first cameo appearance is in the 6th one. Kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of movies like that too. I mean, so that's pretty cool. Though. I bet you if you was to Google like Easter eggs of different movies, and they give you a list of stuff, you probably be surprised, be amazed, like what's out there. So other than that, man, I haven't checked out on anything, but I've been hearing a lot of crazy NFL trades going on.
Oh, man.
I figured I'd bring that up because you're more into it than what I am. I figure you can enlighten the people on. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to do it by position. So, you tell me what position you want to start with, and I will enlighten people.
You start off because I'm just listening to you because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about stuff. So,
well, the major trade so far this offseason has been the quarterback carousel in the NFL.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Russell Wilson from the Seahawks to the Broncos. Gigantic trade. Matt Ryan from the Falcons to the Indianapolis Colts.
What? Serious? Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Colts got Matt Ryan from the Falcons for a 3rd round draft pick. So I mean, I'm going to sit here and say right now, they brought in Phillip Rivers and they went 11-5 with Phillip Rivers as their quarterback. Matt Ryan has been in a completely depleted system for the last few years, due to injuries, trades, things of that nature in Atlanta. Ever since they blew that 25-point lead to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, he's either been hurt or his weapons have been hurt or just, people have been traded or left in free agency. But he's now with Indianapolis, so he gets a chance for a resurgence in his career. And if the trend of the last 2 NFL seasons, follows true, I mean, shoot, there's a chance Matt Ryan could be the Super Bowl champion quarterback at the end of the season. Tom Brady year before, Matt Stafford last year left in trades. Tom Brady from New England to Tampa. Matt Ryan from Detroit to the Rams, and now Matt Ryan from the Falcons to the Colts. I mean, if trend holds true, Colts will be the Super Bowl this year, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm so bad. On a Steelers note, seeing as how that I'm a Steelers fan, we decided in our infinite wisdom to go sign Mitchell Trubisky. And the rumors out of camp so far is that Trubisky is going to be the starter for us because we don't have any confidence in Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph. And, it's rightfully so and justified. But Mitchell Trubisky was the quarterback of the Chicago Bears for 3 to 4 seasons. And if y'all don't remember that track record, he wasn't necessarily a bad quarterback. He just had a bad offensive line. And then when the game was on the line, he made dumb decisions, but that was part of the growing pains. Back up to Josh Allen in Buffalo, he actually, did really well. And so that's the reason why he's getting a chance. Marcus Mariota is the quarterback now for I don't remember off the top of my head. I just saw this.
I've seen that he went to somewhere. I just can't remember where it was.
Yeah. Maybe he went to Atlanta. Yeah, he's in Atlanta. Jameis Winston re-signed with the New Orleans Saints. Let's see. Oh, Matt Stafford signed an extension with the Rams. Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the market. Baker Mayfield is now on the market. I'll get into that in just a second. Carson Wentz got traded from the Colts to the Washington Commanders.
And then the guy, there's one truck driver that work, and he's a Washington fan. Every time I see him, I go, Washington Commanders, buddy. Washington Commanders. He just shakes his head. He just shakes his head and drives by.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's like a team. It's like a team name that you say when you're drunk. Hey,
What?
It's like a team name that you say when you're drunk. Hey, what? Come here, man. My name's Billy. I used to play for the Washington Commanders. Hey, that's what reminds me of somebody just be like, hey. Washington Commanders. That's my son's little Pee Wee league. That just sounds so. Yeah.
Let's see. We've got. Oh man, Broncos now have Russell Wilson in the same conference with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr. That should be a competitive division, I would think. Let's see. We have Seahawks now have Drew Lock currently as their starting quarterback. They have Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford for the Rams, and as of right now, it's still Jimmy Garoppolo for the 49ers. Tom Brady decided that he was going to unretire 40 days after retiring. He's
probably got tired of his kids.
Yeah, he pulled a Brett Favre. He was like, I retired too soon. I still want to play. I'm coming back. And he came back.
Man, there are so many memes out there on that. It's ridiculous. He had one meme on there where it's like, it said kids having a quality time with their dad and they're playing Madden. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I heard a
So
lot of
that leads me into the biggest one. Obviously, there were more trades and this, that, and the other, and we will get into that later if we need to. But the absolute biggest trade that happened thus far in the quarterback market, and one that's going to have resounding effects. I have a theory that I refer to as the ripple effect. So you can make a decision in a moment in time based off of whatever it is that you're feeling, thinking, or whatever at that point. But it's one of those ones that is so impactful in your life, it causes ripples in the space-time continuum to flow out from it. Okay?
right.
So in this instance, the Cleveland Browns made the absolute biggest splash move that's going to cause ripples yet again for the future of this demoralized franchise. A franchise that has not been relevant since the 80s. They really have not been a thought. They have not been relevant. They've never been considered a threat. They haven't even been what we consider a contender since the 80s. And they traded 3 first-round draft picks,
Oh,
5th
God.
round, 3rd round, and a 6th-round draft pick to the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson.
What? What? You
20
serious?
I'm dead serious. And not even that, bro. Not even that. They guaranteed him a full 5-year contract, guaranteed full money, whether he ever plays it down for them or not, whether he is ever actually a Cleveland Brown or not. If he never touches a football in Cleveland over the next 5 years, he is guaranteed $230 million.
Wow.
Which is $80 million above the highest current contract in the NFL, which leads me back to this segue. Oh, yeah, by the way, Aaron Rodgers, after the holdout, came back to the Green Bay Packers on a 4-year deal worth $200 million, $50 million per year, which now makes him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Oh, but yeah, wait. Sorry, guys. He lost your number one receiver and your number one target, who is now on the Oakland Raiders playing with his former college quarterback, Derek Carr.
That's what I heard. Devontae Adams with the Raiders. Man.
22 civil sexual harassment law cases, bro. 22 civil lawsuits, sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, sexual cases. 22 individual women. And they guarantee this motherfucker. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom. They guarantee this guy $230 million. And he never touched the football in Cleveland.
Basically, what you're saying is, Professor X, is that this dude right here can be like, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Here. All right. He can be like this. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed, ka-ching, 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 basically.
Yeah, exactly.
He can lay toward Bruno Mars and be like, and get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's called awesomeness versus awesomeness and complete stupidness. Like, why?
Because, well, think about it. The last time that Deshaun Watson played, he didn't play last year. He sat out all last year because of these ongoing civil cases and suits and everything that he had going on. And he stepped away from the Texans and everything like that. Didn't play, not draw attention to the team or unneeded drama or whatever. So, I mean, I get all that. But you're talking about the first 2 years that he played in the league, he made 3 Pro Bowls.
Uh-huh.
About a guy who led the league in passing once. Talking about a guy who's only 26 years old. Talking about a guy who is the highest recruited person, in the league at 26 years of age. Like, who becomes a free agent at 26 years of age in the NFL? I mean, if you're a good quarterback, that's nobody.
Right. Now, if everybody out there hears some little rustling and ruffling, it's the fact that I let my kids out. There are 3 dogs, range from 95 pounds down to 50 pounds. They're pretty loud individuals. But that's crazy though, man. It's insane that happened. I mean, but then again, who knows what's happens in the world today as far as stuff. It's all craziness involved. I guess next week is for your wrestling fans, WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, we probably got to work. And it's my weekend to work next weekend because now.
Speaking of which, by the way, bro, since you brought up WrestleMania, did you see that Triple H retired the other day from In Contact Ring events?
Now I didn't hear about that. I heard he's wrestling Kevin Owens.
No, he retired. He was on the Stephen A. Smith show day before yesterday, and he announced his retirement on there from In-Ring Contact. He's had a lot of heart issues. The interview's on ESPN.com. If you want to go and look it up and search for it, it's actually a pretty decent kind of eye-opening interview.
Well, the thing about it, though, that wrestling stuff, people think that people think that it's fake and all of this stuff. Which, granted, yes, it is. It is fake, but the physical destroyance that it does on your body is not fake.
Right.
I mean, there's a guy at work, a guy that goes to my church, named Michael Guess. He wrestled a long time, and stuff. He had his own wrestling stuff going on at the Armory in Terre Haute. But it's like you can tell, you can talk to him. He'll tell you that that wrestling stuff is no joke. Like his arm is like he went to do some kind of move on somebody and land on his arm wrong, and his arm is like you can tell his arm is like bent a certain way from the way he healed up. So it's a very physical, demanding sport. Now everybody that heard that wasn't any kind of alcoholic beverage. That's to say, Ice Mountain sparkling natural spring water with lemon lime flavoring. You can get this at your local Dollar Tree. $1.25 tree for a 6-pack.
$1.25 tree. $1.25 tree. Is that the inflation tree we currently have going on?
I guess so. Like, if you want to know how bad the economy's going, just keep an eye out on your Dollar Generals and Dollar Trees. They start raising their prices, and yep.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, I'm going to say this going into our first scheduled commercial break.
Yeah, we're running a little longer than normal.
I saw the post that you laid down earlier today on Facebook talking about, hey, you just wanted to let everybody know that you were okay. Want you to know that I had to read it all the way to the end because I was actually really worried to know that you just got fucked by gas prices. I was a little bit worried about you. there for a minute when I read that you had been robbed because I know the area that you live in, and I know that's an actual possibility. So, with that being said, we're going to go into our first commercial break with a good old hearty thanks, bud. Thank you for making me worry.
Hey. Oh, hey.
Oh, delay way.
Yeah, alive. I'm so glad, concerned that I didn't have, people that are worried about me. It's rough life in the hood streets of pumping gas. I mean, I thought
Hey,
that
we can sit here and crack whatever joke we want to about it, but these gas prices keep going up. It may turn into the streets of Compton.
man, bro.
I'm right.
Yeah, man. I was watching this thing on TikTok, and he said, "It's how bad it's getting at the gas pump." So this guy's pumping his gas, and this beautiful, fine-looking girl comes up and starts talking to the guy while she's talking to the guy pumping the gas. Her boyfriend or dude brings out a siphon and the gas can and tries to siphon the gas. While the girl got the guy distracted. I was like, wow, it's getting bad. I'm telling you, man, keeps on getting like this. Man, anybody have to start figuring out your gas prices and how much it's costing you. Like, have to get an apartment. Stay in town.
It goes back to what Cat Williams said in that stand-up. He said, what's with gas prices being so high right now? You used to be able to stand there and put the hose into the tank, and you used to be able to click it and be able to bond with your car and be able to love on it and be able to clean it up and be able to squeegee your windshields. Now here you are standing at the gas pump making life decisions. Like, motherfucker, did I even eat today?
That's funny. No, it's funny you say that though. It's basically what it is though, man. I mean, you literally got.
Bro, there ain't no basic to it, man. That's exactly what it is anymore. Like, it's so screwed up, man. Like seriously.
Well, I have to see.
I got a kidney on the market just to cover next month's fuel expenses.
The thing about it, though, I found this thing. My buddy sent me this thing. I have to send it to you. It talks about it has Ted Cruz on there. I like Ted Cruz. The more I hear from him and stuff he talks about, he's I like that dude. But he's talking about how things are going on and this and that and how the Biden administration's really failing and making stuff hard and so I have to send it to you, dude. It's pretty eye opening. Had to send that to you. And I even shared it in the description, everybody, so you can check it out. But it is. I mean, it's true. Like, you literally will have to back before you put like $25 in your tank. 2 years ago, and you can be like, all right, $25, $30. Even a year ago, $25, $30. You be like, all right, that's cool. That lasted for a whole week. You good. You have to worry about that being a major expense. It's like almost like that's your fast food budget for the week, $20. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, you literally have to budget it out. It's crazy.
Definitely crazy.
I mean, like, here's like now, I was like, when I think about, I was like, what do I gotta do today? All right, so where can I make the most economical decisions You know what I'm saying? Like normally I would go to Walmart and buy some stuff. I said, well, Walmart's this much further away, but Dollar General is right down the street, so I'll make it up in, in the mileage.
Right? I mean, you know, you sit there and you think about everything and you're just like, yeah, I mean, you know, I got to do what I got to do in order to survive. But sometimes, you know, to do what you have to do to survive, you sit there and you go, do I eat? Do I drive? Do I just call in today and just say, you know what, forget it, I'm losing a day of pay because I can't afford to go in?
And that's what and that's the thing about it, though, Jake. And as I was talking to my dad today, about jobs and everything, and it's how there's so many jobs out there. People, you know, it's called like the Great Resignation. That's what they're calling this timing. Since the last couple of years, they call it the Great Resignation, where people just leaving jobs because either they can just find something else because the workers market is so it's so heavy right now where they need people everywhere. You can literally quit your job today and have a job 2 days later. With was beforehand you had to wait a week or two, but now it's like you can literally quit your job today and then have another job tomorrow, like literally.
Yep.
And I was telling my dad, and I was saying, I was talking to him about a certain place. I'm not going to name it, but you get my drift, right?
Gotcha. I got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Oh yeah, thank you, brother. I'm so glad we're on the same clip tone.
We both have gone through the same hell. I mean, blissfulness. Yes, I understand.
Yes. Well, I was just saying, like, I told my father, the great Doolin. I was like, these jobs these days have to do things they normally have never had to do in order to keep people.
The great Doolin.
What's so funny?
I'm sorry. The great Doolin. That was spectacular. It sounds like an official title from like old world England or something. Who are you? I am the great Doolin. I am the Earl of York. Hey. I am the great Doolin.
Hey, that's that's pop. That's popping, man. That's my father. It was my grandfather. My grandfather passed years ago.
Right.
So his nickname was Daddy Mean.
Well, you already know they made a sitcom over my grandpa, so
Well, so that's why I was telling my dad. I was like, these companies got to do things now to not only keep their current employees there, but do things that keep them, happy. I mean, granted, yes, an employer is supposed to do things and the best benefits to their employees to keep them, safe and happy and appreciate going to work. But they got to do more stuff now, which is insane, but it's needed,
Yeah.
I mean, they need to think, and they need to think outside the box. I mentioned ideas and stuff. I was like, man, they need to get people that drive, 30 minutes away, 30 miles more away. Like a gas voucher. That way, it especially now with gas prices being higher than it is, people are going to quit their jobs just so they can get a job closer to home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if by you giving out a gas voucher, say, hey, give people extra $50 a week to go towards, like a gas car that they load or something, that'd be like, all right, this place really does care, and everyone wants to be, they care about us. That makes people feel a certain way. That makes feel like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep coming to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do little things like that, man. Especially right now where you can just someone can just come there and and be like, "You know what? I ain't feeling it. This place ain't treating me good. I'm quitting." And next thing, you know, they got another job the next day. So if they want to keep their people or keep their full-time people, they got to do that kind of things. Unless there's a plan to get rid of full-time people that temps or outside hires, and you know what I'm saying. It's just you never know.
No, you're right. You never really know. I mean, can't really argue with that.
But I mean, I've been told about 2 or 3 jobs already that's less than 10 minutes from my house. That if I was to go, I'll save money on gas, I hadn't had to have the taxes anymore. But the other spectrum of it is, and I was like telling them, is like it's hard to start over, especially when you've been at a place for as long as I have. It's hard to start over. Saying like how we talked about before. Here we go. I'm doing it again.
Soapbox.
Doing it again. Oh boy, doing it again, Jake.
Soapbox. Hold on. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause right now for a moment of station identification. No, we're just kidding. We're going to segue into the Big Boy Soapbox part of the podcast. Big Boy, take it away.
Well, you know how we always talk about, how you and I are talking about how when you get on a certain routine with things and life and stuff, and then when there's a break in it, it can really throw everything off. You know what I mean?
Throw a wrench into everything. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like how this.
Yeah, you're
Go
right.
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, you're right. You get accustomed to your rut. You get accustomed to your everyday life. And sometimes it's really hard to break free of that. But yeah, go for it, man.
And especially, it's like, and what's so sad about it is like, the old saying, the grass is not always greener on the other side. That saying. But like I said, when you get used to same routine for, it's always a different time scale. A year, it's going to be a different feeling for someone that's been there for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And 2 years is going to feel different between somebody that's been there for 5 years. So, one, it is about what kind of time you've been on that routine versus your future outcome. And next is about your loyalty to that routine to versus your future outcome. Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, you see all these so-called visual written benefits of changing your routine, and then when it comes down to it, you kind of get a little nervous about it because it's like you don't want to change the routine because now you got to do this all over again. Now you're gonna be at the bottom of the barrel again, or now you gotta wait for what I'm saying. So yeah, it's just hard.
You always have to reteach yourself something.
Right.
You have to relearn habits. Yeah, no, people don't like that. You get used to something, you get accustomed to something, and you want to do everything you absolutely can to make sure that your routine stays exactly what it is. Your routine.
Because what I'm saying, we don't have a magic 8 ball or a magic ball that tells us, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. So basically, you taking a risk, and that's the thing about life is you take risk every single day. You take a risk outside. You take a risk every single day. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to this gas station instead of going to this gas station. Well, you may be going to that gas station to change that routine up, and it might be out of gas, or you might be at the gas station and then a homeless man pees on you or something.
what happens when you can change your routine up. So yes, it's good to keep your routine, keep your same routine going on, but also too, it can also hurt you. It can literally also hurt you emotionally, physically, um, in the long run because you could be missing out on a better opportunity or something that's better for yourself or either your family. So
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're you're exactly right. I mean, there's no other way to look at that or view that. However, I want to ask you a question about something. How do you feel
okay.
about paying it forward? Do you believe that is something that is smart to do, or do you believe that it is something that is kind of irrelevant nowadays to do anymore?
Well, it said paying it forward.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I it's kind of like I mean, once again, you might I know how we are. We always agree to disagree sometimes, and also to be and
Oh,
sometimes our medic for it,
we go here again.
and sometimes our medic for it, examples to certain things may not agree to with one another, but I believe that paying it forward is a good thing. I mean, I agree that um that I it can hurt you in a way because then depending on your mentality state, it can hurt you if you don't understand the concept of it.
Well, I agree with that. However, I have a story if you'll permit me to tell it.
Well, it is a keeping it real podcast, so we keeps it real. So if the story's real, then keep it real.
The story is very real, and I'll keep it real. And for anyone who has been on, my Facebook page within the last couple of days, um, I had my kids this past weekend, and Friday night, um, we had pizza, and we all decided collectively, and you can't see me, but I'm using quotes right now. Collectively, and by collectively, my three children um, decided collectively that we all wanted dessert. Um, we had ice cream and everything like that in the fridge, and I just decided that wasn't going to do that. We have a Dairy Queen here in town, and we can touch on everybody's favorite things and just have a real good time, and everybody can eat the ice cream that they love and just completely enjoy it. Well, I was I was in line Friday night with the kids, and we had all put in our orders. Obviously, we all got blizzards, um, just because it's what we do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we had a we had a mint chocolate chip blizzard. We had a Royal Ultimate Chocolate Blizzard, and we had a M&M's Twisted Blizzard, and we had a Royal New York Cheesecake Blizzard. Um, I'll leave it to the listeners to peg who went to who. All I will say is yes, I was the cheesecake. But
Wouldn't surprise me.
we were in line. We had ordered, and we were in line waiting to pay. And the car that was in front of us, I had noticed that it had been taking kind of a long time at the window for the short order that had been handed out of the window to them. Everything seemed to kind of take a little bit longer. And man, I pulled up to the window to pick up the order, and cashier leaned out and told me that the person that was sitting there in front of me had paid for the order for me and the kids. To have our blizzards and everything like that. I mean, I'm talking $25 order, and the person in front of us just did it. I have no idea who that person was. I have no idea in the world, but gave a shout out on my Facebook to it, because it was something that was pretty awesome. And again, an example of paying it forward. 2 months ago, I was at Casey's gas station in town, and a gentleman drove up. Well, he didn't. He didn't drive up. He was the passenger. A gentleman and his wife had drove up, and he was celebrating his 55th birthday, and he was a little inebriated. He was a little intoxicated, and his significant other and spouse had gone inside to, purchase whatever it was they were getting at the time. And whenever I had pulled up outside, he had stopped me. He had talked to me for a few moments, and just a joyous spirit, and someone extremely encouraging. And I just decided when I went inside and I saw her that I was going to purchase their items, whatever it was. A couple packs of cigarettes, a couple slices of pizza, and 2 chocolate milks later, I went ahead and purchased that for him. And 2 months later, I got rewarded for paying it forward. And so, again, like you said, I myself believe in that. And that's how I was raised. And it's just something that, man, I was just really happy to be a part of. It was a huge blessing, and my kids extremely enjoyed it. So whoever you are, young man, thank you very much.
The thing about, and remember how I said we kind of like, we say we can take things and kind of compare it to something like that. You might disagree, but to me, it kind of reminds me of like you are like paying tithes in church. You know what I'm saying? You paying tithes, but you don't know what you hope the money goes where it needs to go at for the greater purpose. And then next thing you know, something happens in the future where you kept believing, and then something happens where something worked out where you wouldn't have had the money to cover something, and it was covered or taken care of. It's almost like an investment, in something. But when I said earlier how it can hurt people, is that they will expect that. I'm saying, like, well, man, hope something happens good to me because I helped that one person out. That's not the mentality to have. You pay it forward or help someone out, not in the mindset to get something in return. It's just that you being a good person. And that's where it gets confused at.
Yeah, I agree. I do. Very much so agree.
And I had a situation that's similar to like what you talked about. I was at Casey's gas station in Terre Haute, and I got me some, my Chinese food like I normally get on a Sunday, and I went to Casey's and I was gonna grab me one of those 24-ounce tall boy drinks, and I usually get the Still Reserve blackberry because it tastes good and it's cheap. Well, this one guy that was in there, and he's back there too. He had 3 of these 3 cans of those I forgot what they call them, locos, the loco drinks. I don't know. So I was talking to him. And I asked him how those things taste because I always wonder. He said they're not bad. The such and such flavors not too bad at all. Not bad at all. I was like, oh, cool. I had to try one out. So I went. So as I'm in the line, his card wasn't working. And now and that's one of the most embarrassing things. The most embarrassing thing when your card's not working, and you got people in line. It's embarrassing, right?
Yep.
So he's like, I don't know what's going on with my card, but so he walks back there to put those cans back, the 3 cans back, and I was like, I walked back there with him, and I put what I was gonna get back, and I went back there and I grabbed 3 of them, and I told him, hey man, don't worry about it, bro, I got you. So I bought 3 cans of that stuff, and I gave him 2 of them.
He said, "Well, you don't have to do that, man." I said, "No, man, it's cool, man. I was curious about how they taste, and you gave some good information, and don't worry about it." So I went, pay for my drink and two of his, and I didn't know who he was. So, about like a month later or two, I'm at the Dollar General, and my debit card wasn't working. And I had like 20 something dollars in food. Like I just had some quick stuff, like some soup, some tuna, and just some quick stuff.
Yeah,
And my card wasn't. Huh?
was this before or after you got robbed at the gas pump?
Oh, this was before.
I wouldn't let you get away with that.
But I was at the Dollar Tree and Dollar General, and my card wasn't working. And of course, there's a little line, and I was like, "Well," I told the lady, "No, take a couple of things off." And the lady behind me was like, "Hey, so how much was this order?" It was like the lady said, "Don't worry about it, man. I got you." And she pays for my stuff, and I said, I appreciate that. You didn't have to and stuff, and then. When I was out to put stuff in my vehicle, and I told her, "I appreciate that. Thank you." He said, "Don't worry about it. That's what you're supposed to do for people. You're supposed to be helpful and nice and treat people good. Just pay it forward." And it's crazy that happened because I paid it forward, helping someone else, and then came right back to you, right back to me. So that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's don't. When you have an opportunity to bless somebody, don't hesitate, because you never know when you might be in a time of need and your work and where situation is, it might in a way.
All right, so that's a good point, but let me ask you this question. Why is it that we always feel like we are the ones that are in need of a blessing?
Because people are greedy. I mean,
it's like the second things do not go perfect in our life,
right?
We feel so selfish, so self-justified, so self-vindicated to only look out for ourselves,
right?
That we forget about everything that we have done, said, or pledged to do to begin with. It's really kind of sad.
It is, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I've never done it before, because I felt that a little bit like that, a couple of times today, and I felt like that before. Where, man, I swear nothing good ever happens to me. Oh man, must be nice, man. To walk to the gas station and be missing all your teeth and this and this and that, smacking your old lady around right in there, and then here it is, you hit $1,000 lottery ticket. Oh, must be nice. What? Nothing. Oh, me, I don't get nothing. You gotta quit thinking like that. That's the problem, because when you think like that, you're kind of like you put a big wall up of anything blessing wise to come help you and come to you, because you're being jealous, you're being negative. I mean, so.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I'm gonna send us out on our next commercial break with a simple question, a little food for thought. We will be right back in just a few moments. But the question I have for you is simply this: who is to dictate what is good and right for you when you yourself oftentimes don't know what is good and right for you?
Ooh.
For thought, we will be right back.
That's right, everybody. Thank you for listening into the podcast. This is your boy, Big Boy. This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by Terra Jersey Enterprise. Terra Jersey Enterprise will hook you up with some custom shirts. Also, Terra Jersey Photography, capturing your moments of today to make them last for a lifetime. But like I said, this podcast is brought to you by Terra Jersey Enterprise.
Yeah, me neither.
So what I was saying is, what does when it comes to a family in a marriage or anything like that, what does protecting your family and protecting your family name and mean to you? Because with Will Smith, depending on what angle you look at, smacking or hitting Chris Rock because he was disrespecting his wife, what does that mean to you as far as protection of your family, as far as you being the man?
Well, I mean, protection has its own different levels. You know, there could be something small as somebody saying something bad about your family. You want to address that in the most calm, civil, and humane way possible. You know, then you get into varieties. Somebody saying something about your mama. You know, for a lot of us, especially being men and mama's boys, that's a whole different level. That's a whole different level of response.
Right.
You want to talk and touch on that subject, then you know we're gonna have to make a whole other podcast for that one. But you know, you talk the family that you're born into, the one that either has to accept you or inevitably that you are a part of. There's a different level of responses that comes with that. But then you talk about what you're talking about with Will Smith. You're talking about the person that chose you that doesn't have to choose you for any other reason other than the fact that she wants you. You do everything you can.
Right.
You step up, you protect the family, you protect your wife, you protect your husband, you protect your spouse, you protect your husband, you protect your husband, you protect your wife, you protect your wife. It doesn't matter what it is. You step up and you take
it's just sad that this day and age that men are it's become demanized. I mean, today's man versus yesterday's man is completely different. I mean,
yeah, but where I know where you're going. I know where you're going, and I'm telling you for the night, don't do it. Don't do it. This is a whole other podcast. Don't get into that subject right now. I know exactly where you're going, and you and I think along the exact same lines. We've had this conversation, but that is a whole other podcast for a whole other time. So,
Jay, you're making me feel like a first date, trying to get that first kiss, and she's like, not tonight. Just a tip. Oh shoot. Yeah, that's gonna be that'd be a long podcast one on that one. That would be one of those ones that it's gonna either piss you off or make you be like, yep, that's true.
No, it's gonna piss you off and make you say, yeah, that's true. It's not gonna be either or, it's gonna be both. Because a lot of our listeners, they've been in relationships. They know what the hell it's like. So, but
no, man, it's just the whole thought of relationships. Just in general, it doesn't have to be a relationship with a significant other. Just relationships, and just in general, have been on a downtrend attack. as far as, like you said earlier, everybody's being selfish now. And that's where a lot of issues come from, is everybody being selfish. So,
Well, it's gotten to a point where I'm gonna be a little far fetched in my example, but it's gonna be real relevant in this
right.
and in this sense. So what I'm gonna simply say and do for the next 10 seconds is simply this. You meet the woman of your dreams. She's everything you've ever wanted. She is the breath to everything you are. She is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So, what I'm going to say to you right now is big boy, deal or no deal.
Deal.
And that's how we treat things nowadays. We
Right.
treat it like a game show. We treat it like gas prices at a pump. We treat it like something that is not significant. There are other things that are more relevant. There are other things that are more significant. There are other things that matter more than the relationship that we are in. And as long as that happens, well, it's not going to be the relationship you want it to be.
And it's funny you say that though too, because when I was with my little men's group that we compiled at church, and one of the things when the pastor was talking when he was out there shooting, was he had the 22 Henry uh, Henry style 22 rifle, right? Lever action. And he said it's his wife's gun. And he was like, "Yeah, keep shooting these things. If not, they'll rust out on you, or they just won't work right if you don't keep shooting them." It's kind of like how life is. If you don't keep, using what you got, and letting what you got just wilt away, and when you try to use it again, it's not going to work right.
Yep.
It's
100%.
just, it's
So,
just like, yeah.
so I'm gonna again do something that is a little uncustomary.
Oh,
I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna say simply this: take us away with your closing thoughts for the night, and I will piggyback off of your greatness.
well, I'm gonna pay it. Well, I appreciate that. Let's think about it though. This podcast tonight was more of a how can I say this? More of a smoother um podcast. We just kind of like one of those kind of things. We're just two buddies just talking about stuff. Like I said, I rely on you on certain stuff. I rely on you in the sports world, and we rely on each other from other things. But it just makes you um uh it goes back to what I was talking about. We didn't do a podcast last week. And we did one tonight. And we still vibed. We still was able to get some good conversations going, get some good laughs going on and stuff. So it's just kind of like how life is, Don't stray away from things or what that makes you happy and stuff too far, too long. But if you do, just make sure it's the things that really mean the most. So go ahead, Mr. Professor X.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of it. Real simple, real short. I'm just gonna simply thank you for your friendship, for the platform, for the opportunity to do what we do. And once again, for the fourth time tonight, agree with you and everything you just said. However, I'll take one thing a step further. you spoke on the fact that we were supposed to have a podcast last weekend. It didn't happen. Excuse me. When you are truly in sync, when you are truly, vibing with that person that you're with, you will never have to question. Everything will just come naturally. Take care of yourselves and each other.